welcome to episode 39 of
Mo Money,
the Investing Show for Millennials by a Millennial, where our goal is to educate, entertain a new generation of investors. I am, of course, the best host from the north to the south to the east and the west coast, MC Mo. Let's get this show on the road. Now, as you may have heard on Monday, a certain small-handed, fat-faced Cheeto Man president signed an executive order removing the USA from the Trans-Pacific Partnership. This repeal was one of the things that he said he would do during his first days in office. The trade deal was pushed by the Obama administration, and after turning out to be a complete failure, caused many on the left and on the right to oppose it. It was one of the few things that Trump and Bernie Sanders actually agreed upon. Sanders even came out and praised Trump for the repeal and said that he is glad that the TPP is dead and gone and hopes to work in the future with Trump on trade deals. I don't see this ever happening, but whatever, crazier things have happened. Now, luckily when I decided to release this episode, Trump had created a buzz for something that we have not done in a while here on the show. This week we are having a super duper price slashing, economy crashing, political bashing, whiplashing, contract smashing, Mo Money showdown. I'm Jack to the tits! This showdown will be a face-off between free trade versus protectionism and tariffs. Now, before we get down to it, let me explain. The free trade I'll be discussing is more of a theory, because free trade does not actually exist anywhere in the world amongst any countries. The only place you'll find real free trade is like within the United States amongst the other states. Florida can sell their oranges in Idaho, Idaho can sell their potatoes in Ohio, Ohio can sell their soybeans in wherever, and so on and so forth. You'll never see California charging tariffs on Florida oranges in order to protect the California orange growers. California says, hey, Florida is an American state, we're Americans, their state has the best environment for oranges, so instead of us growing oranges, we'll just get our oranges from them and use the land we have here to plant grapes. Boom! That's how free trade works. It's a win-win. One participant gets something they need and gives the other participant something they need. It's simple as that. That's free trade. No contracts, no government, no nothing. Just two consenting parties going, you have that, I want that, I have this, you want this, boom, we trade, and everybody's happy. Anyways, the trade deals of the last 30 years have left us looking like Morgan's little friend, season 1, episode 9 of Boy Meets World, where Morgan tricks her friend into trading her all her stuff and her mother's car in exchange for some cheap plastic crap. That's basically the situations that we have found ourselves in today. But is it the free trade agreements that are the problem? Donald Trump spoke relentlessly about protectionism and tariffs on foreign goods in order to bring back jobs to America. But is it going to be that simple? I guess we'll see who comes out on top of the Mo Money showdown. Free trade versus protectionism.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Round 1. We have these two vicious trade theories fighting over the labor of the people. We're talking about jobs. Free trade. Now, free trade advocates will tell you that jobs are created or at least maintained in the world of free trade. Free trade equals more trading partners. More trading partners equals a more thriving economy. The more trade that takes place between countries, the more need for workers to meet demand. Now, protectionists will of course argue their theory protects jobs and wages better by making it non-advantageous for corporations to outsource their labor somewhere else through tariffs. They also argue that corporations take advantage of labor and workers in poor countries in a free trade environment and treat them awfully and pay them super low wages. The free trade advocates would tell them to use their brain and ask themselves, if they're being paid so little and treated so horribly, why not go find another job? Oh, that's right, because there is none. Is it sad that they have to work in these conditions? From our perspectives, yes, but from theirs, these corporations are giving them the best wages that they've ever had. They're making their country better and actually pulling them up out of poverty. When we were a young, poor country, I'm sure England and France were looking at us like, ew, who would ever want to work in such disgusting conditions? We did! We wanted to make America great, and we did, kinda. So who wins? This round's kind of a draw. I'm gonna give it to free trade. In the short term, protectionist policies do tend to help protect the good-paying jobs of the protectionist country. But in the long run, it comes back to bite them in the ass as domestic consumption lags, causing domestic production to slow down, causing a loss of jobs. To put it in easy to understand terms, higher paying jobs cost more money. That's just common sense. In the long run, people won't be able to pay the higher prices for the products those higher paying jobs create anymore, so they'll buy less. So as people buy less, companies must produce less. And when you produce less, you need less people. This is what you can expect from Trump. If Ford, General Motors, whoever else wants to start making all their cars here again, that'd be great. More jobs. But prices for a Ford car will increase because labor here is more expensive. If he slaps a 35% tariff on imported cars, it will cost more money to buy that Honda or Toyota that you're more accustomed to. So we will not get a thriving auto industry. I mean, maybe at first, but after a while, people will stop buying cars so often. They'll keep their cars for longer and opt to repair instead of buying new ones because they can't afford. But seriously, then those jobs he brought back will be lost all again. Still, a lot of fight in both of these competitors. We are on to round 2. The fighters will be going back and forth over business, growth, and competition.
Let's rumble.
Free trade comes out striking first with 3 punches to the face. More competition, more markets, more efficiency. Free trade provides the ability for more companies to come into a market. And the result of competition is lower prices and increase in quality as companies must fight for shares of the market. This will make countries realize what they're good at. If America cannot compete with Brazil's sugar prices, we should realize, hey, we shouldn't make sugar. We should spend our resources on something that we are a lot better at producing. Free trade also prevents things like monopolies. It's hard for a monopoly to be established unless it is being nurtured by the government. Because if there is a demand, people will try to supply it, no matter how many others are trying to supply it as well. But protectionism strikes back with some home love. Protectionism protects domestic companies and domestic jobs from outside competitors who might be trying to put them out of business. Protectionism helps protect small mom and pop businesses from being overpowered by large domestic and foreign competitors. People like their company, the ones that they know, not some Chinese company. Protectionism prevents dumping of products by foreign corporations that are made strictly to undercut the home market companies. Protectionism is also a valuable tool for small or poor countries to protect their companies from foreign competitors. It was also a valuable tool at the beginning of our nation. Protectionism tariffs help protect and nurture our young and fragile economy, and the revenue used from those tariffs help pay back our war debts incurred during the revolution. The winner of this round, it's tough. I'd have to say protectionism for young and poor countries, but free trade for larger economies. If a country is young, they're going to need the gentle nurturing that protectionism provides. But if they're large, they'll see it no longer necessary or beneficial to employ such tactics. So I guess this round is kind of a draw. Next, let's get to our final round, something that is important to people everywhere. Prosperity. Which of these theories gives people and their country a better chance to prosper? You know what? I'm not even going to make this one even seem like a debate. The showdown is over. I'm throwing in the towel for protectionism because when it comes to prosperity, nothing is better for a country than free trade. Free trade increases competition and lowers prices, which is good for the consumers. Next is peace. There is a saying, where goods don't pass, soldiers will. Free trade amongst countries makes it stupid for them to want to wage war against one another. If you're fighting the country who provides your country with some type of food or oil, most likely the people of your country won't have your back for very long. Robert Greene's Law of Power number 18 states, isolation is dangerous. Next, in a world of free trade, there is a large inflow of capital to a country. When people see that a country is open for business, money will show up looking to do business. This will turn into investments in real estate, infrastructure, and everything else that can help lift up a country. To go along with the inflow of capital is the decreasing ability free trade has on government spending. In free trade, governments are not wasting money subsidizing their country's poor and failing businesses because the free market is providing them with those things efficiently. In free trade, resources in a country are being maximized to what provides the greatest return. We're not being wasteful with resources because we need them, because other countries are providing what we lack. Instead of wasting resources like, say, land for oil, we import it from Saudi Arabia and use that land to grow corn or cotton, something that we can export efficiently and make money. Take, for instance, the sugar thing from earlier. Did you know the sugar industry within the United States is one of the most protected industries in the United States? It's been protected since the 1700s. It costs taxpayers $3 billion to subsidize fucking sugar. So yes, without tariffs, governments bring in less revenue, but all that money is no longer needed.
Bottom line.
Now, I'm sure you've heard this before from all free market capitalists, but what we have now, or had with TPP or NAFTA or any other trade agreement, is not free trade. The reason the free trade scenarios laid out in the showdown don't happen is because lobbyists and big corporations do not want them to. Like every piece of major legislation, it is written by the big money lobby groups to their benefit. They rig the market in their favor. They turn around and call it free and fair. We cannot cut ourselves off from the world and close our ports. We must keep trade open with the world, but at the same time, we must only do so with countries who lower their trade barriers and open their ports to us. And we definitely cannot allow these multinational corporations to rule the trade game with their written rules, which gives them carte blanche to sue governments, destroy the environment, outsource jobs, and run the only courts that can prosecute them. Trump did the right thing scrapping the trade deal. Now the ball on his court. Mr. Big Shot, master of negotiations, artist of the greatest deals. Will he level the playing field with the world or isolate ourselves from the world, piss everyone off, and start a trade war with China? Who knows? But let me tell you what a time to be alive. Super exciting. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Mo Money. You know where to go for new episodes right here on YouTube. For now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, like me on Facebook. Keep your eyes out for themomoneyshow.com.
Mo Money signing out.
What's the price? prices going up. Prices. Bad, I slide. Prices going